Welcome, exiles, to the first part of a Let's Make a Build from Scratch series. Before we start, I want to tell you what you can expect from this series. As the name suggests, we are starting from scratch. You will learn how to use a free awesome program called the Path of Building. We are going to do everything step by step, so no prior knowledge of this program is required. But it won't hurt if you played around with the program before. For my build creation, I use Community Fork Path of Building. This version supports more build types and items. I will have Path of Building download link and tutorial video that you can watch in the description. If you don't have Path of Building, pause this video and get the program so you can follow along. If you enjoyed the series, let me know in the comments so I know to make more videos on this topic. With everything out of the way, let's get started. Because we are building this from scratch, if you have something open, just go back, new, save. I'm going to name mine One with Nothing 3.12 version 1. I'm usually adding which skill and ascendancy I'm using, but since we are just getting started, we're gonna name that, add that to version 2, I guess, when we save it. And I like to keep few versions as it works, so I can go back if I mess up something, though it's kinda really easy to fix stuff either way. But sometimes you might not know like what is causing an issue. So yeah. What is the first thing that you need to do? Well, you need to decide like what is your starting point and what are the most important items that you want to include to start building. So our starting point is gonna be a champion because I want to try that out. I usually used Gladiator and Berserker as my basis for One with Nothing. The Raider also seems like a pretty interesting choice. Since we lost deep cuts on cluster jewels, the Master of Metal seems like a really interesting choice, so I wanna try that. And this is because it gives Impels inflict less 2 additional hits. This is huge. It's like 20% multiplier. You have like think is the Impels. Each time you impale an enemy one more time, that's like 10% more damage. I'm kind of oversimplifying it, but if you want to know like more about Impels, they're scaling physical damage, and you just go to the wiki and read up a bit on that so you understand like how it works. But in general, just +1 impale equals 10% more damage. And initially I think you have 5 impales, and this adds 2. You can add 2 more on Watcher's Eye. So we're gonna start with that. Usually my go-to ascendancy for One with Nothing is Gladiator, but this time around I want to build it a bit differently and see if I can push the champion. So, first of all, go to Duelist and Champion. So we selected that. Now, the second thing is we need One with Nothing, so we have to slot it in somewhere. The cluster jewels have to go into these sockets, you cannot put it in here. So we have to take like one socket somewhere. I'm gonna cheat a bit in a second, but for now let me just show you. If I take this socket and go into items, I can find One with Nothing here. One with Nothing, if I can type. Dude, I know. Why am I so bad at typing today? And then I can just right click here and select One with Nothing, or you could have just selected it from here. Yeah. Now we have that. We have to go back to skill tree, select this. As you can see, we get a nice bump in damage. We haven't yet selected our main skill. That is probably the next thing that we should do. So let's go to skills, make a new. We're going to call this main skill, and just gonna slot it into body armor. That's the only like 6 link that we'll have. So yeah, has to go there. And our main damaging skill is a Cyclone. I'm not gonna be, let me see, let's do 2020 default game quality, and so when we add them they should be 2020, I think. But yeah, either way, So we have Cyclone, select that as max stages here. That's actually just AoE, it doesn't matter that much for damage. But now we can use one interesting thing, that is we can select here, since we're scaling damage through impales, we're gonna select, instead of just combined DPS, we're gonna do impale plus total DPS. So that's our all DPS. Because impales do take like a second to start working because they're stacking up on enemy. But yeah, on the bosses they're gonna stack up pretty fast and you're gonna have that DPS. So when we select that, you can see that it's gonna be showing like you wanna be taking these impale stuff here. So those are the main impale stuff and these impale things here. So there is one problem with this. If you do like show top nodes, that's gonna show you like the best node that you should be taking. If you do power per point, that's gonna show you the path towards like the best node. And if I take something, it's gonna lead up. And I'm not sure like why it's not leading up now. But if I take something, it's gonna, hey, like this node here is good, this node here is good, and it's gonna keep showing like what nodes I should be taking. Like, yeah, it kind of helps me build my build, and that is pretty good thing to have. The problem is I have to slot in this hollow palm technique somewhere beforehand, because it's not gonna calculate anything until I have this, and that is a problem for me, because I don't want to decide on which cluster, like where do I slot in this thing. I don't want to decide, is it here, is it here, is it here. I don't care, I just want to have that as a kind of last decision. So I'm just gonna take out everything and I'm gonna fake it. We used to do this early in the Delirium, because this wasn't working at all during the Delirium. This jewel was broken in Path of Building. So we faked it, then we're gonna fake it now. Just for convenience sake. If that's even convenience sake, I don't know. I might be just overcomplicating things, to be honest. So either way, you're gonna learn something. So let's go craft, and we're gonna craft some daggers, if that's how they are pronounced. We don't care about influence, we're just gonna go and make like glass daggers, which are the worst ones. And this is gonna be fake dual wielding, I guess. Fake dual wielding, I don't know. And create that, and we have to edit this. The problem is these things give crit chance, which is not something that you can have while you're unarmed. As you can see, like you have crit chance. If you're unarmed, you don't really have a crit chance, so we have to fix that. So how do we fix that? We're gonna fix that with base crit. Base crit is like your weapons give you base crit. There's like two ways to get base crit, to be able to crit. If you're unarmed, you cannot crit. Either through weapons or through Rigwald's Curse. So Rigwald's Curse is a talisman. Let me see. This is like usually used by phase breakers. We don't use it since we are scaling our DPS differently. And this is gonna be really hard to scale, and it's probably not worth it. We're gonna try it. I kind of tried it before, but it was bugged in Delirium. You weren't critting with your offhand, so you were basically gimping your... you would crit just with your main hand, just like half of your damage from crits was gone, so it was crap then. And so yeah, just gonna grab this base crit, and we're gonna go to these daggers and just paste that in here. We're just gonna delete this stuff because we don't want to increase it. It's not base crit for unarmed, it's just base crit. And we want to do minus, and now since daggers give 6, so each one of them gives 6, we're just gonna do a -3 because we want to reduce it. We have 2 daggers and our base crit is 6, so it's gonna be 0 when I do this and save. That makes sense. So the base crit of this dagger is 6. The base crit of this dagger is 6. So it's not being combined. It's just like your base crit with your when you hit with your main hand, base crit when you hit with offhand, and we reduced it by 3% in per dagger. I don't know if that makes sense, but we're kind of getting there. So this is like fixing our dual wielding. We're now dual wielding. We do get some damage out of it, but it's not like gonna influence a lot of things. And the next thing we're gonna craft is gloves to fake the hollow palm. So we're gonna do gloves. Since that is the slot that's not gonna be used, you can actually type here. Doesn't matter which ones are, just like not spiked gloves because they're gonna increase your damage. You just go with crappy ones, and it's gonna be fake one with nothing, or hollow palm, I guess. Fake hollow palm technique. Hollow palm technique, I guess. I don't know. I think fake one with nothing makes more sense. It's usually one with nothing, how we kind of call that jewel, even though it's hollow palm. Nobody cares. I mean, nobody calls it hollow palm build. It's one with nothing build. And we make those gloves. We go, we add them to the build, and we just go here, edit hollow palm, and we can't really edit it here, and we can't even copy this text here, which is a bummer. So we're just gonna pop to the web browser. This is like second take for this video, so that's why I have that open already, because I was way too disorganized first time and I started over. I might be disorganized now, but yeah. So let's edit this. I'm kind of hoping you can follow what I'm doing. I really hope. So if you cannot, let me know in comments what I can do to improve that in the next part of this series. So attack speed, just attack speed, more attack speed, and the pair, no while, just give me that. And you're just gonna save them, poop, we get that. So now we're basically counted as dual wielding. We could like push it further and just remove these 7 to 12 fist damage, but that's kind of overkill. I mean, I could do that, but it's close enough in terms of calculations. And now you're gonna see like one interesting thing. If I just go and grab, just gonna disable this for a second because it needs to kind of recalculate, I think, or something. Or I do need to take like 1 point or something. It should start working. It sometimes gets bugged. Let's save it for a second. Dude. Okay. It's kind of working. Total DPS. It's working. Let's do Impel. Oh, I know why it's not working, because we don't have Impel chance. You have to have like some base Impel chance at least. So let's add the Impel support. It's not its fault. I'm an idiot. I didn't have Impel chance. So you have to like do let's raise our level, because it should work, but let's kind of raise our level to 100. So let's gonna add maybe not 100, maybe 95 is kind of what usually people get to. This means that at least we are not like being constrained by a level requirement. I don't think that's kind of influencing anything, but it's kind of, yeah, let's add that, why not? And you can see your Impel chance in configuration, in calculations. If you select your main skill, doesn't matter that, here's like Impel. Yeah, Impel stacks, if we have 5 Impel stacks at the moment, our Impel chance is 40%. You really want to be at 100%. So how do we get to the 100%? Okay, something is being a bit weird here. We should have more damage. Is my fakey thingy not working? Let me just add some dexterity, see if it's working. Did I mess it up with levels, maybe? Yeah, I messed it up with levels. I'm not like sure why that happened. Experience multiplier. I don't know, I never messed with that, so let's just make it. So apparently doing less damage. Let me know like why that is happening. I never actually messed with that. I don't know why I was messing with it today. Okay, so back to, we learned something that's experience multiplier. It's not like I'm gonna do less damage. I'm not sure why this is not working. Who knows? Let me know, actually, if you know, let me know why that is happening. I mean, I don't know. Let's move on. Next thing, we have Impel. I was talking about Impel chance, 40% chance to Impel. We're gonna get another like Impel chance here. As you can see, that's a huge boost, like doubling our DPS, because we have a way higher chance to Impel. We have 2 additional Impels. If you Impel the enemy recently, you and your allies have plus 1000 armor, which is a pretty nice defensive layer. If you take a look at, we have to also set that we, in configuration, we have to say that we are impaling. So impale an enemy recently. There it is. Fist damage reduction 19%. It's 90% because that's probably like, if we go level 50, yeah. Fist damage reduction, that is definitely being influenced by levels. I'm not sure like those calculations, how they are calculated and everything, but it works that way. So yeah, if you do Master of Metal, look at this. This is like crazy increase when you do first love. So that's probably what you would do in the beginning. And the next one, you would definitely do Fortify, in my opinion. So you go through this, you get increased attack speed while you have Fortify, armor and evasion rating while you have Fortify, increased attack damage while you have, cannot be stunned while you have Fortify. Everything is like crazy good there, and you just have Fortify. Which you would actually have to add Fortify gem if you weren't champion. And we have still like 2 more points. You would maybe go for first to strike, less to fall for adrenaline, or maybe you go here for taunting. I'm not like 100% sure. We'll decide on that later on, but I know that these 2 are what I want. So how much is our Impel chance now? Impel chance 60%. That is really, really good. There's another thing that can do Impels. Let's do auras. So we have banner, war banner. Let me see something. Can you sort this stuff by like type of gem? Apparently you can. I was kind of wondering. I was wondering because is war banner? It should be an aura. Yeah, it's counted as aura. Yeah. Okay, war banner gives you. Let me see. Nearby enemies take 11% fist damage. That's huge. It's like why you would take this. Get adrenaline when placing it. That is pretty good. I thought this thing gives you Impale chance. Let me see. No, it doesn't. Maybe it's red banner. Oh yeah, it's red banner. It's not war banner. So you have 20% chance to impale enemies on hit with attacks. Your nearby allies increase impale effect. When you place it, gain 45%. Okay, increase 45 per. Yeah, it's kind of pretty good. This one you would probably use the red banner. And with this, you're at 82% chance to impale, which is pretty good. Now you have to get additional impale. As you can see, that is not glowing as high as it was because we got the impale chance through here. We got it through the red banner. This one is even like a less kind of, I don't know, enticing to get. Overwhelm is pretty good. We get to there, but yeah. So we're kind of in a position where we can start putting in points. And here's why we faked everything, set up everything that way. So we can decide, do we go this or this route? And we don't have to use our brains at all. The path of building will tell us how much DPS is this. Total DPS increased impale. You look at that number, this is like 194.8 total DPS increase impale. That is the one that we're looking at. And that one is 8.2%. If we go through here, it's 2.8%. If we go through here, it's 14.9. Just by going through dexterity. And if you go through strength, since to exit like to this point, you have, or to this point, you have to go through 1, 2, 3, and you just go here. And if you're going through here, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you exit. So where do we go? Where you could either go with increased fizz damage, like 1, 2, 3, and get to here. So like this, how much is damage? We get to 3.6. If we go through here, actually you would go like to test it out, because we're gonna take this all. So how much is damage like this? Because that is what something that we would take. It's actually, you can't like decide 100% because you don't know like how much dexterity you will have at the end. We should add the gear. We probably should have done that straight away. I kind of rushing things, but I kind of wanted to show you why I faked the things to begin with. That's like almost 5k damage. And if I go through here like this, that's also almost 5k damage, but apparently it's more if we go through here. And if we go through here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's one less point. This means that I could get actually more if I go like this. But it's not necessarily true, because we don't know like how much base dexterity we'll have. So this has to be optimized later on, maybe. You have to kind of tweak it as you kind of get more stats from different places. You have to decide, do I take this route, this route? So it's probably like good idea to have your base items filled in. At least like some basic stuff. So let's do that next. We are going to have, I'm just going to fill it with dexterity and maybe life, so we just have like an idea of how much life we would have at the end. So next side that comes into play is POBDB or Craft of Exile, whichever you want. And let's say body armor, we want honestly either dexterity. We're probably gonna use a unique armor at the end, so it doesn't really matter. the things that I want to check on the armor is how much life can I get and how much dexterity can I get. You could also get to all attributes, but that's probably not gonna happen. So as you can see, tier 1 is 55, tier 2 is 50, tier 3 is 42, so I would say like 45 dexterity is kinda okay to aim for. So let's do 45 on a chest. So we're gonna craft item, body armor. Let's say it's armor, it doesn't matter at the moment. You would probably go with astral plate if you're getting the rare, but you're probably not gonna do that. Either way, this is gonna be body armor, basic, I guess. Body armor. Let's say it's basic. Like start. I don't know how to call it, honestly. Body armor, and let's... I'm not actually going to include resists at the moment, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna do 45. I think you have to do plus 45 to make it work. Add to the build. It does give you dexterity. We're just gonna edit that to... I think we can actually add... Yeah. I didn't have to do it through Craft of Exile. I can add prefixes and suffixes through here. Wow, that's like... yeah, we're just gonna do life. So that's tier 1. We're gonna do tier 3 maybe. Tier 3. Let's do tier 3 with 100. Because... you know, like, we want to keep it relatively... Let's actually delete that thing. Let's start over. Craft body armor, astral plate. Let it be glorious plate, so we don't add the resist. Body armor, base. Let's do prefix to maximum life. Do 100. The dexterity is a suffix, so we'll do... Where are you? Strength. Let's type dexterity. Can you not have dexterity? No, you have to have dexterity on the armor. You have 2 strength versus 2 dexterity. Oh, maybe it can't roll that because it's a strength base. Ooh, I learned something new. Let's make an evasion armor. I don't know, armor evasion. Doesn't matter like what it is. Body armor base. Okay, let's try it now. So we have life 100. I don't know, almost 100. Suffix. Oh yeah. Okay, we figured it out. Now I'm kind of wondering about something. It's probably like that. Okay, let's add that to the build. I just really quickly want to check something. What if I pick an evasion base? Test. How much? Okay, so it's still like 55. On this one is also 55. Okay, we can cancel that. We have our armor. As you can see, because that adds a lot of dexterity, we went really like up there. Let's craft the next one. We're just gonna fill in everything with basic gear, and then we're gonna replace some of the items with uniques, and you'll see why. So the next one we're gonna do boots, I guess, or helmet. We didn't fill in helmet slot. Helmet. I'm gonna do armor evasion because that way. Or let's do evasion. Doesn't matter. Like this is like temporary items, and it probably would look for stats more than for a base. Is it evasion and armor? Both of them are pretty good. You can always convert evasion into armor at the end if you wanted to, but it's not actually that great of an idea this time around. Anyway, this is gonna be helmet. I'm gonna do just two, like, I'm going to do with that name convention. Body armor, just 2 letters. Helmet, I guess. Helmet. HM maybe. I don't know. It's completely. I could have typed everything. Let's make that. Let's add life. Now let's keep it at tier 3. Suffix dexterity. Probably you wanna aim for max dexterity if you're getting this. Let's add that to the build. Let's do boots, craft item, boots. I don't know. BT, PO. I don't know, like how you shorten stuff in English language. How you would do boots, PO, boots, BT. I don't know, boots. I don't know, dudes. It's English is definitely not my main language, you can tell that. It's evasion base, doesn't matter. Boots base. I could have typed everything. I am lazy. Okay, we do life. Being lazy actually takes more time. Don't be lazy. That's you waste more time if you're lazy. Let's add that to. Why is this not being used? This is. Did I mess something up? Edit. Iron pelt. Okay, I kind of messed it up. Cancel a craft item. I didn't select boots. Boots. Let's do armor evasion. I guess doesn't matter. PO base. And let's do again like same thing. Max life and dexterity. You probably want to do movement speed. Definitely want to do movement speed. Let me see. Is that a prefix? Yeah, it's prefix. That's pretty nice. Since its prefix is not really gonna like be clashing with your dexterity. Okay, we're getting there. So we have amulets and rings. There's a really crazy unique amulet that we're gonna be using, but I'm still gonna put in the rare one for now. So let's do amulet. And this is gonna be, I don't know. So you can see like some amulets give you some implicit modifiers, like only sound gives you to all attributes. We'll probably want to go like with one that if you have like strength requirement, or we're gonna have strength requirements, so the best one would for us be probably strength dex, which is turquoise, I think. Oh no, wait, citrine. And you have the ones that give all, like just one attribute, but they can go up to 30. So this one is actually worth more because it goes to 24. You basically get more stats out of it. So you would go with Citrine Amulet if we actually need strength. We're probably gonna need it at some point. Depends like when we add levels. Maybe we don't need it. Maybe we get it through the skill tree. So yeah. Let's do Citrine Amulet for now. And let's add, you guessed it, max life, tier 3. I'm not pushing it like too high because, I don't know, I don't want to make it too expensive. Let's do rings. And again, you have some implicit on rings. I would say the best implicit on ring that you can get is probably resistances or vermilion rings with max life. You don't want to be using steel rings, they're expensive, but you're not going to be benefiting through this added damage because you're not scaling it that much. You already have like a ton base, so I would say either vermilion rings, probably vermilion rings, they're a bit expensive, but probably those. Let's kinda, it doesn't matter to be honest. So this is gonna be I'm gonna make two same rings. Just gonna add max life. Tier, let's say tier 2, I guess. I don't know, or 3. High tier 3. And we do dexterity. You could probably also get dual attributes and things like that, but yeah, just add that to the build, add that to the build. And let's add belt. Did I have BE? I don't think I had. I think next time I'm gonna type everything, and I was just lazy. What did we make? We made a crystal belt. Wait, we don't want a crystal belt. Do we cancel it? Crystal belts do add maximum energy shield, which is not something that we want. We generally won't like care that much as long as it gives good stats, but there are some you probably want to be using Stygians because they have abyssal sockets, or you want to be using a unique belt. So let's actually, because we're probably not going to be using Stygian, maybe get one with life, I guess. No, let's do Stygian. And let's do max life. T2. And where is the strength? Dexterity. You can't have dexterity in a Stygian? Wait, that cannot be true. Apparently you cannot have that. Let's see. Craft of Exile, your best friend. Jewelry, belts. You can have strength, you cannot have dexterity on a belt. That's a news to me, honestly. It means that you probably will be using unique belt in all scenarios. I mean, there's one really good unique one, but yeah. So we're just gonna add one with life then, just for now, to fill in everything. And I'm not gonna do a beast socket, and I'm not gonna do flasks at the moment because yeah, I just have like basic stuff. Now here comes like the interesting part. Let's say we wanna get rid of some of this stuff that we just made now, but we don't know like what unique items are good for us, right? Well, Path of Building knows. If we say any slot and we sort it in by Impel total DPS, this is gonna figure out like what's good for us. We don't wanna, it's gonna give us a whole bunch of weapons. So let's like say what's our best helmet at the moment. And you see like this one is kinda good because we don't have a high base dexterity. You could use this for leveling maybe, but there are better stuff that you can use. Increased melee damage, cannot leech when on low life. Never seen this one honestly. But this is not something that I want to be adding right now. We have this stuff as a base. Now we have like a decent dexterity to start with. Now we can start putting in stuff on the skill tree. And now it's gonna make a bit more difference actually, since now you can tell like this is 7%. you can basically calculate it a bit better. And you want to kind of get to the nodes that are glowing bright first. So apparently like this is kind of best, I guess, because now we have a lot of dexterity and this is not going to increase our damage by a whole lot. As much as like these things here. So you can see this is 18 million damage and one less point than if I went through here. We go through here. We are already at 19 million damage. 22. So this is like pretty good to go through here. What about if I go through attack speed and just take this out? That is 18 million damage, so definitely better to go through here. And this kind of stuff you couldn't really like figure out in the beginning where is better to kind of start with, because you don't have a base. That's why we made these items. This is why we have that. And now like having Devotus is actually pretty good as a helmet. We're gonna sort out the skill tree, then we're gonna go back to the items and decide like what unique items are gonna fit best with our skill tree, basically. That's the idea. And you can see like here, because we have some base to play with, this is giving us more damage. This adrenaline is pretty crazy. I'm probably gonna go that route, but see like this, taking that is being bright red, but we're gonna probably go with this thing here. I'm kind of 100% sure that I'm going to go that route, because Intimidate is really good, Adrenaline is really good. This is also pretty good, like taunting, regenerating, it is good. This is for banners, but I think we're going this route. We might change that later on, but yeah. So we go through here, it's saying to us that that is good. For some reason we're not holding shields, so yeah, it popped for a second there, but yeah. So I think that was probably like the best way to get through here, since it's a pretty red node there, and we should be going towards this thing for Impale, so it is pretty good to go through there. The next thing that I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna grab the jewel socket. That is always good to kind of grab if it's like 1 point away, and you have life here, which is also 1 point away. Now what do we do with this jewel socket? There is one really nice jewel that is also really cheap, usually. You have to check that. That is going to transform any strength nodes here in the vicinity into dexterity nodes. So that is called fluid motion. Or is it called fluid motion? I'm not sure. Let me see. How do I figure that out? I can actually figure it out with this thing. If I say I want to like that and I want jewel, calculate that. Yeah, I was typing it wrong. What was I typing? Yeah, you can definitely tell that I'm terrible at English typing. And if we slot it in here, you're gonna see that we get a lot of dexterity through here, because we're converting this, where it is 20 strength there. This thing is giving 20 dexterity, so it's already like 40 dexterity through there. You have like these two nodes, which are strength, and everything gets converted. So you have that one, and we're gonna be traveling this way, which is actually gonna be giving us dexterity, and we have to go there so we can grab this swift skewering, if I'm reading that correctly. So you go here now, like, which is kind of better, this impel effect, and this one is chance to impel. Now we already have, like, what's our chance to impel? It's 87%, so it's pretty high. So this is like 2%. It's actually more because we're not capped yet, but we can like cap it through. We already have the red banner, okay. But there is one more like impale chance stuff here up here, so we might like decide, do we go through here, or if we overcap, then we're gonna, if we overcap our impale, we're gonna go through here. So yeah, we have now our impale chance is 100%. We kind of sorted out the impale chance. And now like it comes like the interesting part. You can play around, see like which nodes are the best. I can see this is glowing bright, so you should probably take it. Then you kind of take a look. This looks interesting. What is that? Why is this being really good? One-handed melee weapons. We're not like, we are counted as dual wielding, but I don't think we are counted as one-handed weapons, because we're not attacking with weapons. But apparently it's working. Maybe it's not, like you have to, if you're not like 100% sure if it's supposed to work, you have to test it in game. That's like the only way to be 100% sure. But we're counted as dual wielding, and we are not really wielding weapons. I know like why is this working, because we actually have weapons at this point. So if you kind of fake something, you have to use your brain. You cannot really like take that as face value, I guess. Now we can see that we are actually pretty close to this drill socket. We could actually take that and remove our fakey stuff if we wanted to, but I'm not sure if we want to do that yet. The other thing that we could take, like there's 20 string there, but that's not a lot. This is glowing really like strong. Increase damage while in blood stance, increase area damage while in sand stance. Your default stance is blood stance, so even if you don't use the auras, which we probably will be using, but it's still gonna work even if you don't have blood and sand, flesh and stone, which is interesting. That's something that you should know. I think we are in a good position. We made a lot of progress, so we'll stop here and continue in the next part. If you're enjoying the series, make sure you leave a like, and I will see you in the next one.